We've all probably wondered, maybe as a child or just sitting idly, what would happen if the Earth stopped spinning for just 1 second? It sounds like a scene from a science fiction movie, right? But have you ever seriously thought about the consequences? Let's dive into this mind-bending hypothetical scenario. To understand what would happen, we first need to know how fast the Earth is spinning. The Earth's rotation speed at the equator is about 1,670 kilometers per hour. That's roughly 460 meters per second. Even if you're not at the equator, say you're in a city like London or New York, the speed is still over 1,000 kilometers per hour. Now imagine this massive sphere, our home, suddenly halting its spin for just 1 second. What happens to everything on its surface? According to the law of inertia, an object in motion stays in motion. So, while the Earth stops, everything not nailed down, including us, the oceans, and the atmosphere, would continue to move at that incredible speed. Think about being in a car traveling at high speed that suddenly slams on the brakes. You lurch forward, right? Now multiply that force by 1,000. Everything on the surface would be flung eastward at a speed of hundreds of meters per second. Buildings, trees, cars, people, everything would be swept off the ground and hurled across the landscape. The force would be so immense that it would create a catastrophic global disaster. It would be like being hit by a shockwave from a massive explosion, but everywhere on Earth, all at once. The winds generated would be faster than the most powerful tornadoes ever recorded. This sudden stop would trigger seismic waves of unprecedented magnitude, shaking the planet to its core. The friction from everything scraping across the surface would generate an incredible amount of heat, melting rock and vaporizing everything in its path. And what about the oceans? The water in the oceans, also subject to inertia, would continue its eastward motion. This would create tsunamis of unimaginable scale, dwarfing any we've ever seen. These mega tsunamis would surge across the continents, washing over everything in their path. Coastal cities would be obliterated in an instant. The sheer force of the water would scour the land down to the bedrock. The entire globe would be reshaped by these colossal waves. It wouldn't just be a coastal event. The momentum would carry the water far inland, creating a single planet-wide flood. Let's not forget the atmosphere. The air would also keep moving, creating winds far more powerful than any hurricane. These hyper-hurricanes would circle the globe with wind speeds approaching the Earth's original rotational velocity. The friction from these winds would generate so much heat that it could ignite global firestorms. The sky would literally be on fire. The sheer force of the wind would strip the land of soil and vegetation, turning the entire planet into a barren wasteland. The sound would be deafening, a continuous planet-shattering roar from the wind, the earthquakes, and the crashing waves. The consequences for life would be absolute and immediate. Nothing could survive this. Humans, animals, plants, everything would be wiped out in that single, catastrophic second and its immediate aftermath. The sheer kinetic energy released would be equivalent to detonating millions of nuclear bombs simultaneously. The surface of the planet would be sterilized. Even if anything could somehow survive the initial impact, the environmental devastation would be total. The atmosphere would be filled with dust, debris, and water vapor, blocking out the sun and plunging the planet into a prolonged, dark winter. After that 1 second of stillness, the Earth would resume its rotation. But what would it be rotating into? The planet's shape would be altered. The immense forces would likely trigger widespread volcanic activity, spewing ash and gas into the already choked atmosphere. The magnetic field, which is generated by the motion of the Earth's molten iron core, might be severely disrupted. This field protects us from harmful solar radiation. Without it, the planet would be bombarded by cosmic rays, making the surface even more inhospitable for any life that might try to re-emerge. The day-night cycle would, of course, resume, but the Earth it illuminates would be unrecognizable. The continents would be reshaped, scoured clean by water and wind. The oceans would be a slurry of mud and debris. The atmosphere would be a toxic, dusty haze. It would be a dead world, a silent testament to the immense power of rotational inertia. The 1-second stop would have reset the planet's geological and biological history to zero. It's a stark reminder of the delicate balance of cosmic forces that make life on Earth possible. So, while it's a fascinating thought experiment, let us be thankful that the Earth's spin is one of the most reliable and constant things in our universe. It's the silent, steady rhythm that our entire world depends on. The laws of physics are unforgiving, and a 1-second pause would be the ultimate and final catastrophe. It shows how our seemingly stable existence is balanced on a knife's edge, reliant on a planetary motion we can't even feel. The Earth keeps spinning, and for that, we can be eternally grateful. This scenario highlights the incredible forces at play in our solar system. The delicate dance of gravity and momentum that keeps our planet stable and habitable is something we often take for granted. Imagining its disruption, even for a moment, gives us a profound appreciation for the cosmic clockwork that allows us to be here. It's a powerful lesson in physics and a humbling perspective on our place in the universe. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoy exploring these kinds of mind-bending questions, be sure to follow for more.